So about Safari.
Oh, but was anyone surprised about Safari being 6'4"?
Is it because his feet are small?
Well, if you saw his
That's
OnlyFans,
tall.
if you saw his OnlyFans, you would know that he probably was a little tall.
That is true. I I got to lean in.
What is going on, everybody? It is me again. It is time to lean in, bitch, for Love Hip Hop Atlanta, episode 4. I'm here with Love Jones and Dream. And like I said, let's talk about episode 4. First of all, how was everybody's holiday? I know we talked a little about being adulting. Dream, I heard you put a lot of real Dream. You had a going
Yes, on the grill, barbecuing it up this week. It was nice. I had a good day. How was y'all's?
It was good.
It was. It was hot. It was peaceful. I got like 4 plates. Couldn't complain. Okay. It was beautiful. It was just another Tuesday.
So when we have Lincoln, we know that Dream is gonna be on the grill. So if y'all come to Lincoln, Dream gonna be on the grill.
No, I already got like 5 different carne asadas in mine. It's okay.
No. I'm gonna stick to making the hookah, and I make the Tito's drinks. You know, that's it.
Boom. And list. We're good. We're good.
Well, listen, we're here for episode 4. If you guys watched last episode, we did episodes 1, 2, and 3. So if you haven't watched that, or if you haven't watched anything, I would say go back and watch that. But let's get into episode 4 because it wasn't that it was a lot, but it was a lot. Okay, a lot for a damn gender baby reveal, right?
Yes.
And so a lot has happened. Spice is alive. She lets us know every 2 seconds. Shakana is there. She has Meda. She has Karlie Red is added with everybody at this point, which is not new. If you've been watching this franchise, you know that Karlie Red is always into it with body. But in this episode, we pick up with South at Southwest. I never actually heard of this festival before, but it seems to be a big thing in Texas. Erica, I think all of them are actually a part of it. Erica Banks, we got a lot of Ericas here, right? What's his name? Scappy's performing Chaotic, but that's just the opening scene. The first scene actually kicks off with, and also don't forget to like this video. I know you guys may be watching the replay or the re-live, as we like to call it. Make sure you guys like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, because we have a lot of new shows coming this summer. It's going to be a long, I don't want to say long, because it sounds so draining. It's going to be a great rest of the second half of the year. We're halfway through the year. So Christmas is almost here. So yeah, get ready.
So crazy.
So the first scene is with Karlie Red and Karlie Red and Rasheeda. So Rasheeda takes it upon herself to go over and speak to Karlie about about Karlie moving into not just the same neighborhood, but across the street from Spice. And Rasheeda starts off by telling Karlie just how Spice feels about not only her but Meda. Meda is there. We know Meda if she's a long-term friend of Spice, but now is a newer friend with Karlie, even in this time that Karlie and Spice are not seeing eye to eye. And so Meda, she chimes in and says, "Listen, I'm not getting in the middle of it. I'm staying out of it." Says she's not involved, and that they basically say they don't talk about Spice, so their friendship is not dependent of Spice. They have their own relationship, and that's kind of what they're going with as their aim, right? So Rasheeda continues to speak for Spice, and she says that Spice did not know that Rasheeda was moving. Apparently, the timeline, if I'm not mistaken, was September, December, and February. So September, I believe, is when she had the conversation with Spice, right? About moving into the neighborhood in which she told her, so she didn't want to do whatever, or something like that. But Spice moved in February. Is it February, right? Am I wrong with it?
Because I feel like it was February because she said it was like over a year. I think it was February for Spice. Yeah.
So she moved in February, right? And so Karlie says that she knew that she was moving into the community. She knew all these things. She just didn't know it was across the street because apparently she was supposed to be building a house she got 100 grand to be in this neighborhood, to be in this house specifically, and that it really shouldn't be much of an issue. Karlie says that, listen, I got a lot going on. The gender reveal's coming up. My mom is, on her deathbed, and I just don't have the time to deal with this type of drama that Spice has about me living in her neighborhood, blah, blah, blah. Rasheeda's not here for it. And she says it's giving stalker. So Karlie pulls out her receipts because she says she's all about receipts. She doesn't really pull anything out. She pulls out her phone and kind of taps it, but I didn't see no receipts. The only thing that I felt like she did for receipts was call the realtor if she actually, because I didn't hear the phone ring. It didn't even ring for a second before she was already saying, "Hey, I'm on the phone with the realtor." But Meda's like, "No, girl, don't do it. No, Meda, no." She's like, "No, Karlie, don't do it, Karlie." She takes the phone, hangs up on the realtor, and Karlie feels like it's vindicated by saying, "Oh, okay, because I got the receipt." Rasheeda's like, "I'm not gonna deal with this shit. I'm about to go. You deal with this," but she's not buying it. Give me y'all thoughts. And, while giving your thoughts, do you think it's a true issue for Karlie to have bought a house in the same neighborhood across the street from Spice if she indeed was told not to? Is Spice well in her right for feeling the way she feels? I'll start with you, Dream.
So for this scene, I feel like Rasheeda kind of overstepped her boundaries. She was really speaking as though she was Spice. I remember there was a part where Karlie was saying, "I'm taking ownership," and Rasheeda's like, "You're not. No, you're not. You're kind of not." And it's kind of like, how do you know she's taking ownership or not if you're not Spice? And it's not really your fight to be fighting. But I can understand Spice being upset that her friend moved close to her without letting her know, and she also voiced that she didn't want her to move close. But at the same time, Karlie is a grown woman. She can honestly, I thought about it for like the last episode, and now I'm like, she's a grown woman. She can move wherever she wants to move and not have to explain it to anybody, especially Rasheeda. So if I were Karlie, I wouldn't have even given Rasheeda that much time. I would have told her to leave. Why are you questioning me in my home?
Well, I agree with that, but Karlie is not in odds with anybody right now. So it's like, can she really afford that? I don't know. Love them.
Karlie's a liar. That story was so. First, it was they gave me $100,000 to move in. Then it was supposed to buy a house, and then she's just like, "Well, where's the bill and the blueprint and the floor plan and all the paperwork?" And she's just like, "Well, they gave me the money to move here." Okay, well, I own not telling her I was moving in this block, but she knew I was doing it in general. It's too much. Like, I don't believe anything she's saying about the house. If I was Spice, I would definitely be feeling some type of way. So I think she's justified in being like, "You're moving weird." That's the perfect thing. She is moving weird. Now, was Rasheeda doing too much and kind of made it more of her business with Dream? I agree. Absolutely. She was obviously giving her opinion about the situation. Like, "Nah, you're not making sense, but you're not doing this and doing that." Yeah. Instead of just sticking to what Spice goes this way and that way throughout the whole thing, it kind of turned into like a one-on-one situation where Rasheeda was just like, "It's giving stalker." And then that's when I want to throw out my house. Like, it's giving you gotta go. Because right or wrong, see, now you're doing too much.
That's what ticked her off, because it's like,
that is what made her.
You calling me a stalker, you said I'm lying. What? And she
made
a comment. She was just like, for years I've been called a liar. Well, Karlie, you are. So
yeah,
I get it. My only issue with this whole thing, as I said last week, was that I wish Karlie would stop acting like there isn't an issue, because that's
the part that's annoying.
Why Spice? I don't feel like she's justified in. You're right, Dream, about, like, first of all, she's a grown ass woman. She can live if she want to live, right? But it seems like she's acting like there is no issue. So I'm in a neighborhood now. My daughter's pregnant. Let's just forget whatever has happened. You should be still focusing on this. And also, my mom is about to die. Like, it's just too much. Like, it's too manipulative. Like I said last week, like she's gaslighting Spice. And now it's kind of like coming back on her. Rasheeda definitely is overstepping her boundaries. But I mean, that's Rasheeda thinks at this moment she's like the queen bee because Mimi is gone. So technically, Rasheeda and Karlie are like the last women standing on this show.
The OGs of the
OGs. So Rasheeda, she's like the middle woman to everybody. She has no true issue with anybody, at least since K. Michelle left.
That part.
Okay. Any other thoughts on this scene before we move on? It'll come back up again later, so we can talk about
I'm
it.
sure. Wow.
Mhm.
Okay. So Banks, I'm gonna say Banks as Erica is performing at
Yes.
South by Southwest. And in the conversation between Chaotic and Erica Mena, she she's already met them. Sure, she's already met Erica Mena, but Erica's there. And Erica brings up the baby allegations, and Chaotic is like, oh shit. Erica Mena is not really privy to any of this. She didn't know, so she's like supposed to be gagged, right? And she was just like, Mama D said that no, ma'am. She didn't take her meds. She be lying. I'm sure Mama D is not gonna take like to her saying that, but that's a different conversation, I'm sure. So she says all that, but Mama D, she do be ticking off. Let's not forget. But basically, Erica Mena says that it's already too much going on in their relationship. So maybe we should just not give this information to Bambi that we have heard about these allegations. And what she feels she's going to do is she's going to speak to Scrappy herself as her friend, as his friend, and let him know. Now, Chaotic is very scared. He's like, please do not tell this man that I didn't told y'all this. And so that's when she says, like, listen, I'm not gonna say it. Well, she does say, first she says, I don't know how I'm gonna tell her. And he just freaks out. But then she's like, I'm not gonna tell, I'm gonna talk to Scrappy. But not repeat it to Bambi. Any thoughts on this? Love Jones.
Um, Chaotic is hilarious, I must say. I feel like with each episode, now I can kind of see where people are. He's kind of like a fan favorite. Starting as far as like the men go, I see him being favored more like online, Twitter, and just different things of that nature. Because he does kind of have he's a good presence in episodes.
Yeah.
Look, I'm with Chaotic, man. Don't say nothing. If you repeat this, you better repeat it you better be like a housewife. You better say it this way, connect the dots. That's how you got the information. Leave me out of it. Even though we have reunions and it's all gonna come out. Right now, just don't put me in it. So I'm with them on that.
Yeah.
I feel like Erica needs therapy. Every time I feel like everything triggers her. Safari gives her PTSD, even if it's not her life. She's always on the verge of tears. I feel like she's a roller coaster of emotions. This is like the second time where I'm like kind of scared. Like, is she gonna cry? So we'll see. But Erica Banks just I like her music, but I don't know if I'm like her on that. I feel like she's trying too hard in a weird way. Or maybe I just don't like the way her ass is shaped. I don't know. I'm trying to figure it out. I'll let you know. There's a balance. I'll let you know how I feel about that.
Okay.
But that's what I got to see.
So I appreciate them showing the South by Southwest. So here in Texas, it's always in Austin, and it's basically where a lot of up and coming artists perform. Yeah.
Okay.
A lot of up and coming artists perform there at South by Southwest. It's usually like I don't know if it's a weekend or a week, but
I think it's a weekend.
Like I think there's also big celebrities that go, but then there's also like some up and coming and people who get discovered there. So I thought it was pretty cool that Erica Banks was there. Yeah. And I also, that video that she was shooting, or it wasn't really I don't know if you would consider it a video, but with the mic just like there and she was rapping into it, that went viral. I actually saw that in real time. So I thought that was pretty cool to connect those dots. But
okay.
Chaotic is a liar, because Chaotic was definitely there whenever Mama D said whatever she said about Diamond. But I do appreciate him looking out for Bambi's feelings to try not to deepen himself in the hole or whatever with her. But with Erica Mena, she takes everything. So every time a woman gets hurt or a man does something within a relationship that might be deemed as bad to a woman, she takes it so personal. And it's like, girl, everyone is in Safari. Not saying that Scrappy's any better, but she needs to like chill a little bit. She was a little bit too passionate for me with that. Yeah. But I do appreciate her not going straight to Bambi, because it might be a lie. And you don't want to stress her out over a lie.
I will say for this show, I'm surprised she didn't go directly to her. So that lets me know that she does actually care for her.
Hmm.
It's interesting because she prides herself on being, her being friends with Scrappy, and then now she's friends with Bambi. So, that's a tricky space to be in. I don't know what she should have done. I think she was damned either way, whether she when she goes to him or whether she goes to her. I'm curious to see how Bambi feels and reacts once she finds out. Would she have felt like you come to me? Because I'm not gonna lie, me personally, being in something similar, not this, I ain't nobody had no babies on me and nothing like that, but being something,
Child.
you don't want to be in a space where people are talking about your situation and you don't know about it. That's how I felt. So I honestly would rather you come to me because situation is already ugly. I mean, let me know. I don't want people talking about me, and I feel like they're not talking about her, but the situation, and especially with her going through a divorce at this moment, I didn't find if they were still together, maybe, but they supposed to be going through a divorce, right? So I would rather go to her, but then again, I don't know. That's just me, my opinion.
Yeah. Banks isn't even that close to Bambi to even be in the conversation. I'll be like, wait, why are
Banks
you
is
here? You can leave.
messy because she talked about it with Amy. So yeah, that's all. That's why. That's all she felt. I mean, she brought it
That
up and
was
then she
it.
sat back with her baby hairs and said,
I
mm.
mean,
The baby hairs weren't to her eyebrow this season or this episode. You know who was
but they
wearing?
did a flashback, so that counts because it pissed me off when I saw the flashback. I was hoping I would never see that scene again. They were there in the flashback. Definitely.
I like
Definitely.
Banks. I think that I think she probably will be a good friend considering that
Yeah.
she just told Erica Mena that like to look out for her homegirl. So she might be
Yeah.
a good fit for this cast. I think she was on last
I
season
don't
too.
think she'll ever be a main cast. She's just every Love and Hip Hop show, season, franchise. They have an artist, who is supposed to be an actual artist.
Right.
Right?
That's
So they
true.
don't have no big ones. They used to have Keisha Cole on Hollywood. They had Remy Ma on New York. So in Miami they had Trina. So they always. I think she's just supposed to be that artist. She's not that big as any of
Like K
them three.
Michelle.
K
Mm-hmm.
Michelle, but
Mm-hmm.
unfortunately, Atlanta they don't have that. The pickings are slim, so they got Rene Rucci and they got Erica Banks. Not saying they're not big artists, but I mean they're just closest to biggest that they'll get on the show. They'll probably will do it. I don't know, so I get it,
That
but
is
I don't think she'll ever be like a main cast girl ever. This is probably
no.
like her only season, maybe. I don't know. We'll see. Okay, so after that, we get to Sierra. Now, this situation is retarded to me, actually. But last week, we
Oh.
found out that Sierra was secretly married, right? And so she did say she was going to sneak and move out. And so she's sneaking and moving out. In this scene, she got her family over there. They packing up all the pots and pans and the plates and everything else or whatever they're doing. The family and the family's like, Sierra, girl, what's going on? Like, what is wrong? What is going? And Sierra was like, okay, let me just tell y'all. I'm just like,
Uh,
really, Sierra, was it that hard for you to say? Because yeah, I think they already knew. But for TV purposes, we're gonna act like they didn't. So she reveals that she's actually married. And she talks about why she got married. She said she felt that she was alone after falling out with her family, and so she became closer with Eric, and that drove them to get married. Um, and I kind of said I kind of understood what she was saying. If that's true, if she did fall out and she didn't have family, sometimes you don't have family and you do have a partner. I feel like your partner becomes your world. Unfortunately, that's kind of how it happens, or whatever you're closest to. Sometimes it's a partner, sometimes it's a dog. You just never know. I think in this case
right.
it was Eric. So they went and got married. But as they are doing all this, of course, conveniently, Eric pulls up and he walks in his house and he's just like, "What is going on?" And she immediately says, like, you thought I was playing about moving out. So I'm like, okay, well, Sierra, did you already let him know? Like, I don't know. She made a comment like that, and he was just like,
Yeah.
he comes back on the defense, and he's just like, listen, we prayed together. Like, you are a married woman. You cheated on me, and they go back and forth about how neither of them are different than what their past was. He talks about that she's no different than his past, and she says the same. They're basically saying the same thing to each other. It's like they're looking in the mirror at this point. And so he says that she been texting this rapper. He has knowledge that she been talking to this rapper about leaving him for a while, and that she is not a woman of God because she cheated. That could be true in some religions. I don't know. We ain't going on religion on here, but that's what he says to her. And she says that he cheated too. They go back and forth, and basically he ends up leaving. She tells him to get out, go on, and that he was an 80-year-old looking man. Thoughts, dream.
Considering she's been married before, I can see why the mom was a little bit like, what? Caught off guard, because you're married before, you've been there, you got divorced, and then you literally just married this guy, now you're getting another divorce. She shouldn't have told the mom. I feel like she shouldn't have told the mom. She could have got away with getting a divorce without the mom ever even knowing. But did you notice that when he said, you cheated, she was like, I don't know if it was the filler or she was smiling when he said that. But I was like, dang, girl, you're evil. You're over here cheesing. You must have really did it.
She probably did. Now I got to run it back.
It was the filler. Everything. Her face is, wow. It is, I always, and I follow her because I love her recipes, but I just get so uncomfortable when she eats, because when
you eat it, you got to look away.
No, when she's eating, because her lips are just like, I can't even do it. I can't, because I don't have fillers.
Can't even do it.
I can't even do it. But it's just like she can. And so your question, I think it was the fillers, whatever it was.
She was smiling. I was like, oh, she probably did do that. He probably is like telling the truth on this. He seemed pretty passionate. I do feel like he was telling the truth. But at the same time, if you're getting a divorce, go ahead and get that divorce. Like, please. They both said it, so they're on equal ground. That they wanted.
It sounds like it's over. I don't know what they're even arguing about. Like, just instead of saying you want to move out, just get divorced, baby. I mean, you've done it before.
He said that house payment was $10,000 though.
I don't believe it. It was, you know what? It was a nice house actually. When they paying on the outside of it, that was the actual house. I thought it was a nice house. So depending on where they are in Atlanta, because they're probably further out. If you know Atlanta, they're not in the city. It very much so be maybe like
on credit.
Maybe $6,000. I don't know about 10. Love Jones.
Okay. All right. I'll give him the $6,000. We were reaching. We were reaching for the 10. We was reaching.
Maybe we need to call Karlie Red's realtor back on the phone. I'm not
let's dial her back up. Oh my God. First of all, I agree with Tez. This scene, this was the most ridiculous scene of the episode to me. First of all, the family, I have seen better acting on random TikTok videos. That family was so horrible in that scene. You're married? Girl, what? Oh no. I was like, and she's like, I know y'all didn't know. I'm sorry. And they're like, you should have told us. I was like, let's just skip through this. Let Eric come in. It was the acting was too much hip, not enough hop. I hate when the acting is so bad with Love and Hip Hop. It's like, it reminds me. So that was cringe. But the cursing and the vulgarness that Eric was saying in front of that, if that's her real mama and not a stage act, if that's her real live-in, raised by you mama, and your husband was talking like that.
Well, I mean, she already said he don't care. He just.
You're right. Anybody can get it, right? The kids, she's all types of B's and H's in front of. That is true.
But that is true. If it was my family, we would have jumped her.
That's why I was like, I was watching this scene like.
My family would have. I know my auntie would have been like, "Now hold on, baby, you got to bring that tone down." And
you get a little bit too loud up, and you better bring that volume in a couple of notches. It would have. It was the whole scene, and I know they ran it more than once. They were like, "Okay, cut now. Next scene, voice a little higher." That wasn't the only cut. That's why I'm like. That wasn't the only take. Final note on this scene, I started cracking up. It was so ridiculous the whole way through. And at the very end, when she was like, he's like, you cheated. She was like, you did it first. I was like, all right, I'm done with this scene. I'm done. What do you mean you did it first? What are we talking about here? I can't.
Well, no, she said, I cheated once till you're 20.
That is true. But the way she said in her voice, you did it first. I cannot.
I had an issue with the mom. I don't know if it's the mom and sister or just the mom. And she's commenting saying, well, you did it too. And you did. Lady, mind your business. This is not your marriage. I'm sorry.
Why are they still in the room?
That is not her business. It's between Sierra and Eric. Like, you need to get out, actually. Like, this is I'm sorry. I'm petty like that.
They should have cut the cameras, dead ass.
y'all need to go. Like you and the
Cut the
sister, y'all can
cameras,
go.
dead ass. That
What she
was
said?
getting way too crazy. I was like, I can't.
Okay. Any other thoughts on this? I'm sure it'll come back up later. I mean, Sierra's storyline is like small compared to everything else going on, so they give her a scene and then they get out. So I do believe everything she says about
Thank
Eric.
God.
Eric is a bit loony. I think she should definitely get out. And I also don't believe that not Erica. Sierra is as timid as she appears to be. So if he's definitely saying hoes, I
Mhm.
do think she's probably calling all type of niggas and whatever else.
Absolutely. That man looked
Just
stressed out. You look at them both
Going
together.
in.
She looked all
I mean,
luxury. He looked
he
stressed
does
out.
look 80. He not 80. Okay, I would say like 65. But girl, you like that 65, so hush. Then again, I know what it's like to be upset. You start saying stuff, so whatever. I've been there too. Maybe I
My
don't love
goodness, have we all?
it.
Have
Okay.
we?
So let's get to the actual gender reveal because I broke it up into actually two parts because a lot happened here. So at the gender reveal, we see Jessica White and we see Safari. They are there. Safari is like, I'm coming to a party, but what party? Because there was nobody there. But I guess maybe they told him to go there early so that he can, meet Jessica. And they having small talk and talk about her being tall, and he asks her, "Oh yeah, you're married." I'm like, "Girl, now you know damn well, especially if you're gonna say Erica's your homegirl, you know damn well he ain't married because y'all just broke plates and baseball bats about this man literally the last week or whenever this was filmed. So I don't know why she said that. Maybe it was to be petty. And I was
Jessica.
just like, you know damn well.
Jessica.
He clears it up and says, we're not married. I was married. I'm divorced. And I think he was kind of trying to see where she was at, trying to slide in. She's a pretty girl. I think she's a gorgeous girl, actually. As Erica is as well. So I'm not surprised he tried that. But basically, after they figure out that he is indeed 6'4", which, I was surprised until, like I said, I do remember his OnlyFans, and it was quite lengthy down there. So I thought he had to be at least 6 something. Yeah, that's just my
I bet
analogy.
6-ish. 6-ish. Okay. Okay.
Right. Not no shade to the short people because the short ones have it too. I'm just saying, but
Lots of
um,
shade. Lots of shade.
but they decide that she's like, you know what? I'm gonna give you a fair chance. I'll be your friend, right? And so Bambi shows up and she asks Jessica, "Were you talking to Safari?" And it kind of turns into this whole like thing where Bambi and Sierra, they're all like kind of questioning Safari about his type and how he met Erica. It's almost like you can ask me, I asked you guys, like, were they trying to were they trying to basically expose him so that Jessica could change her mind on whatever, like talking, basically take the same stance as they have. You guys can answer that. But they kind of debate whether or not Erica was soft or hard. I don't know. I do think people are very passive in their relationship sometimes. Erica's not a hard girl, but she is a bit. She's a tough cookie. I will say that. I don't think that she was innocent in terms of any type of aggression or whatever. But in relationships at the beginning, it's always soft and sweet. That's just what it is.
Of
That's
course. All
that's every,
honeymoon.
every relationship, and then things get crazy, and you find out who a person is. And I think that that may have happened with them too. But Safari decides to walk away. He's like, y'all not gonna jump on me. And Jessica says that she's gonna give him a chance, regardless of how they feel. Love Jones, thoughts?
Um, I love my black Barbie. She's so pretty, but Jessica pissed me off throughout this entire scene. I like you said, Tess, first of all, of course you knew he wasn't married. We were just with her. So that's why he was just like, I've never seen you. So how would I know you?
Yeah.
So that made no sense. Jessica, you don't need to be his friend. Why would you need to be his friend if Erica is your homegirl and that's her ex-husband? What y'all need to be friends for? Why do you need to make room, space, anything, opportunity, time, whatever she said? I'll make space for you. He was like, "Oh, thank you." I was like, "Why is this happening? Didn't you just come into the scene saying you're his wife's friend? And now that we've established Now that we've established, not last scene, not last episode, now that we've established that he's the ex-husband, I'll make space to be your friend. I said, Jessica, you look so lucky, you're pretty. Get the hell off my screen. That scene really irritated me. As far as the ladies and Safari, he technically deserves every single thing that he has coming to him. He's one of the worst men on the show, behavior-wise, husband, father. I can continue. Background dancer to Nikki. Everything Safari does is horrible. But I do understand it. At the end of the day, it is going to be annoying where it seems like all these women are so hurt and they've been so ran over, done dirty, where it seems like every time a man comes into the scene, like, hey, how you doing? It's just like, oh, this nigga. It's like, all right. So I am going to get tired of it. If it does seem like if the men are ever on their own in a women's scene, I don't want it to be a constant reminder of being like, you ain't. It's like, okay, I get it. That's what I got with that.
Drink.
I already had enough with the women like doing that to the guys because
it's annoying.
In this scene, I died when Safari found out that it was Nick Cannon. Like his face, he was like, oh, like he choked up, and I'm like, I remember Safari on an episode of Wild 'N Out. He was not funny, but I do remember him on an episode of Wild 'N Out. So I'm like, oh, he does know Nick, but. I felt like Safari went to the table just to like say, hey, what's up, ladies? And Bambi did that Erica Mena thing where she started taking out all the anger that she's going through on him. And I felt like the conversation was kind of going back and forth from Bambi being subliminal or Bambi specifically talking about Safari. But I feel like Sierra was just trying to throw out like, why are men like this? Can you give me some insight? I feel like there are two conversations happening at once. But I had an issue in my, like, I don't like Bambi. I don't like Bambi. It's coming across. I don't like Bambi. She seemed very like she walked in there, she just started kind of attacking Safari. Like, why are men? See, I hate when men, like, girl, what? Just because you decided to go with Scrappy, in which you already seen within his past what you were gonna end up with yourself, and because it happened to you, all of a sudden it's all men. Like, I do understand Safari's trash, but
yeah.
Deal with Scrappy. Don't worry about this other stuff. That was just me. I felt like it was an attack, and I would have left too.
Yeah, he's like, I'm gonna go watch your purse.
And just walk here.
Yeah, I agree with both of y'all. Actually, I am tired of it. I get what they're trying to do, but it's just like he's going to be around. Like you can still support your girl without constantly projecting your situation onto every man that may have, like, it just gets old, you know. And like
does.
He did come over to say, hey ladies, and maybe he should have stopped filming, because maybe all the men should just get out the show, because every man that's come on this show, if they approach those women, they're gonna be like, yeah. And I'm just like, I mean, you know, Jesus, it's repetitive to me.
Maybe that's why the model girl said that she was gonna give him, like, be cordial with him, because she literally saw all these women attacking him.
My thing with her is that she said that she wants to she wants connection. She wants to meet new people. Okay, we know who Safari is. What are you really meeting? I didn't understand that. You know what I'm saying? If Safari was some random guy that was like a producer or something like that, or something in the realm, then okay, that benefits you. But why do people feel like when they come to cities, when they move to new environments, they have to, you know, make all these connections? Like, networking is one thing, but that's not networking to me.
No.
I get her trying to give him the benefit of the doubt, but I don't think he really needs that. You kind of see you see what he is at face value. Like, you know, he's already flirting with you. Like, as I'm not a woman, but I mean, I can keep when someone's trying to flirt at me. So I don't know if it was the best decision for her to do that, especially just now meeting these girls. You know, she's getting involved. It's like it's gonna come to a point to where, okay, do you really is Safari's networking more valuable than these girls? Honestly, I would say the girls, because we know who Safari is. Exactly. We know what he's capable of. We know what his game is. He could very much so change, but
her ex is Nick Cannon,
right? And she said it herself. She was just like, "I've read some things and heard some things." Well, then you know. Let me tell you something. Then what are you talking about?
If she's on this show, she did more than read and heard. She knows.
Exactly. You know.
Everybody knows about Erica Mena and Safari.
I'm
That's,
telling
I
you.
mean, it's like we know about Nikki and Safari at this point. We know. So yeah, Jessica, I don't like. I like her, but I don't want her to be this naive little woman. That's I hate that for her. I want her to
Yeah.
tap into her because it's gonna really bite her even in her music career. It is like they're gonna they could possibly take advantage of her, and it seems like she. I hate that, but it seems like she has that about her, this innocence that people just kind of she wants to connect, but not everybody wants to connect with you on that way. You gotta be careful. So
Yeah,
I want
exactly.
better for her, but I do like her.
Yeah, she's
Um,
so pretty to look at.
she is pretty. She looks like a little Bratz doll or something. I don't
Yeah. Like she painted on.
know. Right. Okay. So part two of the gender reveal: Rasheeda and Spice shows up, despite having issues with Karlie, and don't forget to like this video, as I always say. I put it on the screen. Be sure to hit the like button. We appreciate all the support. This is a new show for us. So last week's did really well. We want to keep the show doing well because if it does even better, we may even go live, like actual live, and you guys can communicate and join and call in and things like that. So just keep the show afloat, and we'll fuck with you.
Exactly.
I'm always in the chat, so feel free to.
Yes.
I'll respond.
Yes. Okay, so Rasheeda and Spice show up regardless of the issues with Karlie. And Safari is so hype on Spice. I see where this issue comes between Erica and Spice. I thought it was this episode, maybe when it comes. I see where it comes. Was it not advertised for this week, or did I miss something?
No? I feel like
it was a season.
It's season. Definitely
Okay. Okay. Well, then that's gonna be interesting. But Karlie Red arrives and she is emotional. She is trying her best to cry behind all the fillers and pump face that she has. And she does manage to get a few tears. I don't know if it was the makeup or maybe it was the highlighter, but it looked like she was able to produce a few tears.
She smudged for sure right here.
Rasheeda are on the side and they just laugh and like, why is she crying? Ha ha ha. And Rini Rucci is just like supportive of Karlie, but she doesn't understand why they would be crying. She almost feels like they probably should have stayed at home. They're going to be laughing at her. But Karlie is emotional because she just feels like, it's a lot going on. Nobody really likes her. And this is a moment for Jazz, but it seems like everyone clearly has an issue with her, despite coming to the event, which, I mean, if they didn't come, it wouldn't be an event. So Karlie, sorry, girl, you're on the wrong side of things these days. But Meda pulls Spice to the side, or somebody pulls, I don't know who pulled who, but they talk on the side. And Meda says that she has been calling Spice, and she feels like, I'm sorry. So she been calling her, but Spice feels like that Meda chose Karlie Red over her in the time she needed her. And by choosing her, she meant that when she was on her deathbed about to die, or whatever was going on, she was choosing to go to events with Karlie Red. She feels like Meda should have been by her side instead of being with Karlie Red, especially knowing that her and Karlie had issues. And Meda is just like, I thought y'all were okay. When she came to the hospital, it seemed like things were okay. And Spice is, kind of clapping back and just like, have my back, instead of going to party with Karlie. And this says what I got from it was that she was saying have her back with whatever issue she has with Karlie, and also make sure I'm okay in this deathbed, girl. That's what I heard. Instead of being out with Karlie.
Yes, check on me.
When she kind of storms out, her and Meda kind of go back and forth, but Spice gets really loud. It's so interesting because they do look like they could be sisters. If she had red hair and she had blue hair, I would say
oh my god,
it would have gave fire and ice. But
that would have.
But she storms off, Spice does, and says that she wants my neighborhood, she wants my friend, and if I had a man, she probably would want him too. Give me y'all thoughts, and do you side with Spice in this moment? I mean, I feel indifferent. Dream.
I feel like Spice ate that one line or that line, but other than that, I 100% disagreed with Spice because there was a point in the conversation where she was saying, if I'm not friends with her, you shouldn't be speaking to her. And when I start speaking to her again, then you speak to her again.
That's what I hate. That's what she lost me. And I was like, this is different. Yeah.
I feel like that, like, Loyalty, that's not loyalty. That's being someone's pet. Like that's being someone's like yes man. I don't agree with that. Just because you don't like someone, I can't like them. And whenever you become cool with them again, then it gives me permission to speak to them again. I'm a grown woman, girl. Get real. So I disagreed with Spice on that end, but I was a little bit confused because she said that Meda wasn't there for her, but wasn't she the one who was giving out the information to Karlie and whoever else she chose to give it to about Spice being in the hospital? So she wasn't there?
They said Meda was the person that kind of went to the blogs about it. That's what they said
Okay.
last week. But that's speculation. She didn't even bring that up. I wish she would have kind of talked more about the things that were said from the Angel, whatever her name is, and then Shakana. But she kind of just stuck it to, like you said, if I'm not friends with her, you shouldn't be.
That she was so lame for that, honestly. She lost points for me for that mindset of being that type of friend. No, girl, she's a grown woman. She'd be friends with whoever. But if you're upset that she wasn't there for you, then that's valid. But also, this is the wrong time and place to be having this conversation, Spice. You know how you get. You don't need to embarrass us all on this special occasion for this girl's baby. That's my opinion.
Love Jones, I have a question. Do you think that Spice has a bit of a control issue?
Oh my God, absolutely. I really want to look at what her sign is because is it getting worse per episode or is it just me?
I don't know. It seems like I mean, is it truly just Karlie, or do I think that this would be across anybody? I mean, I'm sorry. Is it truly Karlie? Do you think it would apply to anybody? That if it wasn't Karlie, somebody else, let's say Rasheeda was hanging out with Meda or whatever. I don't know. Like, do you think it's like, what do you think?
I feel like she just picked Karlie as her scapegoat for the season. That kind of helps with her, like her storyline, like someone to pick on. And I think it's easy. I don't think she would get. Oh, absolutely. There we go. That makes total sense.
What is that dream?
Spice is a Leo.
A Leo. Okay.
Yeah, I don't see Spice. I don't see Spice doing that with anybody else,
right?
Really.
She's Jamaican. Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so all that comes into play.
Yeah, like Sonya.
Oh Lord, not Sonya, child.
Sonya.
I don't like that type of loyalty. I understand. So I can't, downplay the issue she has with Karlie because I don't know how she feels. But when it comes to, from what I'm hearing, that's not enough for Meda to just disown and not be friends with Karlie. You know what I'm saying? I feel like in a moment like this, Meda has been there for Spice. She did, get her nominated for a Grammy, and I feel like she may be a good friend of Spice. I don't think that Meda is moving funny. I think Karlie is taking advantage of the situation and kind of gotten Meda in hot water, unfortunately. So this conversation was less. I think, for what I'm seeing, I think Meda's kind of innocent. Based off this little moment here, if this is what, Spice wants to lead with, she's innocent. Like, if she wanted to go to a party while you was doing whatever, I mean, she can't be by the bedside all damn day. You do have family. But do I think Karlie is like secretly trying to utilize Meda in a way to get closer to Spice or even make an issue? Possibly. That's what I think.
The thing where Spice has me messed up in this scene is, first of all, how do you have the nerve to be at the ops' event and get mad at your friend for being friends with your ops? And Karlie's sitting 2 feet away from you guys while you sitting up there yelling, if I'm not cool with her, then you can't be either. Like, wait, what? Then why are you here? Why are you here?
I agree. That was very.
What? You could have mailed the baby gender, get whatever, but you're here for the check. We get it. But like,
it was a little weird. It's a little weird. I mean, I get it, but even saying like, I'm Jazz's auntie. As Jazz, I would have been like, okay, you can leave because now you're kind of disrespecting my event, kind of.
And my mama.
Like, if you don't like my mom, I'm sorry. Now, as a child to mom, I ain't gotta like you. I mean,
that part.
It's just a different relationship. I just feel like it was. I don't know. She was just some things didn't have to be said, and I appreciate Rasheeda for trying to be like, she first of all, she was trying to stop. Y'all remember back in the day when Mimi and Jocelyn were like arguing and it was a meme of like Rasheeda. She was just like,
I'm not doing nothing.
she was like,
Rasheeda is always in the business. Spice said she needed to talk to Meda. Why did Rasheeda go over there? She's just everywhere.
She didn't get involved. She was trying to stop it this time. This time.
Yeah, Spice was insane. I couldn't do it with her in this
But I
scene.
do agree. She did eat that lion dream. I was like, yes, honey, I'm gonna start saying that. But I ain't got nobody. That doesn't apply to me. I don't have nobody that's trying to take my neighborhood and stuff like that. I ain't gonna lie. I don't want my best friend once told me that he was gonna move. I was like
right. I like separation.
Is important. Now, if it happens, sure, but not everybody wants that type of,
It depends on the best friend. Like if it's the best friend that's like your roadie, where you guys are doing like brunching all the time or going to the movies all the time, then yeah, live close so we don't have to go that far. But if it's like I don't kick it with you like that, don't move next to me. Don't move next to me.
That's scary. I'm still gonna act like you live far away. I'm still gonna be like, girl, I'm not even at home. I'll be right here.
Maybe look through the blinds and see you.
Oh, that is true. There is no escaping low key.
No, they're gonna be texting you saying, someone's in front of your house. Who's that?
Nope.
That's a mess.
True.
Yeah, Jazz arrives and she kind of arrives at the end of it. So actually, you know what? She kind of missed. She did kind of miss everything. So
she did like right when she came in. She
caught the issue, but I don't think she was there for Spice saying all of that. So maybe that's why. I wonder because Jazz got a little mouth on her. If I remember back in the Pooh days, right?
She's so cute though. She looks just like her. She looks like a day one Karlie, the before.
Karlie was trying to look like
she's
Jazz.
Post Karlie.
Done, but
there you go.
But she's just gonna always be Karlie, and
man, she's a cute girl. She's a cute girl.
She is. But it's a girl. It's not a boy. And so that's exciting for them, and that event ends. So to finish off the episode, we go back to Southwest. They kind of go back and forth throughout the episode, and Chaotic is flirting with Amy. That is weird. I don't understand their relationship. I know it's supposed to be like big brother, little sis, or whatever they are, but he be flirting hard with her, and it's just like she be welcoming it in. Sometimes I just wish
it's cringe.
I wish people would create boundaries, stuff like that. But I guess I don't know. I'm not a rapper. I'm not in this game. Maybe she feels like she has to do that. Maybe that's her connection. I don't know. I would hate to be in a situation, especially when there's unwanted attention. I don't know. I don't like people to even DM me. I'd be like, boy, go on.
Like, please.
I can imagine be someone constantly like flirting with me and I'm supposed to be like brother ill. So Erica, Mena, and Amy meet for the first time. They take shots. They get turned up. And they show Scappy performing. Chaotic performs. Amy performs. Cool. Erica Mena decides to pull Scappy to the side. And, they go back and forth about everything that's going on. Scappy feels like, he had her back when she was going through things with Safari. So he feels like she should at least, not take one side. Basically, he knows that she is, supporting Bam, but realistically, he knows that she's also projecting her own situation into their relationship, which I 100% agree with him 100% on everything he said. Even that she should just kind of try to remain neutral. It does feel like she chose a side. And, I will say this, Scrap is trash, but he is well in his right to have a side. There are two sides to every story. So
yeah,
that's just the reality of everything when there's two people involved. And so Erica Mena drops the baby allegations. He's like, what? Like, hold on, you would have to have sexual relations to do all this.
He turned into Bill Clinton real quick. I was like, who is you? What do you mean?
But he denies it, of course. And so Erica tries to get emotional and whatever she does. And she's like, I love you too much. Don't play with me. Don't play with it. Don't play with it. Don't play with it.
I was like, what happened that fast?
Is she rapping at the damn South and Southwest? Or is she really, I didn't understand. I thought maybe she's about to go on set.
I had to rewind it a couple times. I was like, what caused that? It was so random.
I
Alcohol.
don't know. Again, projecting. But
Yes.
he just says like, listen, he basically he has his side and she has hers. Don't just listen to her. If you truly supposed to be here, be my friend or my little sis, or I'm your big brother, like listen to what I have to say too. Give me y'all thoughts. Love Jones.
The best way I've handled these situations throughout the years is to be completely neutral. You do not lean on one side more than the other unless the side you're leaning on is the person that actually introduced you to everybody. Other than that, I don't. If I have a friend and I meet somebody else through them and I'm cool, and the person that's my friend fell out with the someone else, I'm not about to be buddy buddy with the someone else.
Mm-hmm.
That just don't make sense to me. So either you just stay neutral and it works out that best way, or if your friend needs you to have their back and they really like kind of be cool off them, then be cool off them. Because that person wouldn't even exist without your friend. So that's
Yeah.
kind of the way I've operated, and it's just kept me under. I've been good. I think that's the best way to handle it. Who did you this person would mean nothing to you. Now granted, I'm not saying you can't be friends with them. I'm not saying you have to do the spice way of when I stop talking you stop talking. I'm not saying that. If you're in a situation where you feel as though I don't want to be in the middle, then just stay neutral. Don't be more on the person's side that you only know because you're a friend.
Which in this case she knew Scrappy first, right?
Yep.
Yeah, because Bambi, I'm telling you, Bambi, everybody's going hard for Bambi, but Bambi was not really a part of this crew. I mean,
Nope.
she really wasn't. She came in as like a friend of, and then Erica, the other Erica, was involved, and there's been a lot going on. Like I said last week, they fought pretty hard to be together. So a lot of
Yeah.
things you have to go through to get to be together. So Bambi wasn't always in this circle.
And she's not always innocent too. And that's why I think that's why Scrappy's generally hurt, because Erica didn't even come in the way that she said. She's like, he's my friend. I'm going to come in and be understanding. No, you didn't. You just randomly blurted out, and why is she pregnant? He was like, wait, what? That's not how you said you were going to come at your friend, drunkie. You should have sat there and been like, hey, how are you doing? There's a rumor that's been going around. Don't tell me Bambi's pregnant. You wouldn't do that, right? That's how friends talk.
You could always be like Portia Williams and check on the man.
See, now Portia's like, now how did I get in it? See, she just said, no. Portia's like, now see, I didn't even do that. Nah.
If Erica end up with Scrappy next season, then I'm gonna say Portia.
I agree with Scrappy on the sense like you should be neutral, because I feel like when you're not neutral, when you start picking a side, I've noticed that when you start choosing a side and people people who have relationship issues, they're gonna come back together. Something's gonna shake. They're gonna come back together, and then you're gonna end up looking stupid because you're picking a side. Now the other spouse don't like you. Yeah. So I agree with Scrappy with saying like, I understand, you're cool with both of us, but like you should be neutral. That just is what it is. But I feel like the alcohol got to Erica Mena because she was talking to Scrappy like she was the bait, like she was one of their kids. Like, that's a lie. She's a good wife. How do you know? You don't know. Yeah. So just stay out of it. Be neutral.
She's a good baby, Savannah.
And the way that she just threw it out there, is that why you got Diamond pregnant? Scrappy's
right after you had just said, well, let's wait till we find out if it's true. So if we're going, let's be clear. If we're going to, retain that information from Bambi because we don't know if it's true, you maybe should have did the same with Scrappy, Erica. I mean, but obviously you chosen your side, and regardless of how trash Scrappy may be, I would be looking at her very crazy.
This scene specifically showed me that Erica Mena is definitely not as innocent, because in one scene she told us she was gonna act accordingly or approach him respectfully, and then look at how she just attacked him. So I'm like, no telling what she was doing really behind the scenes of Safari. Like, I'm pretty sure she was saying some crazy things. I'm sure he probably deserved it, but Erica Mena is not
ever innocent. Everybody has their hands in these situations. Now, some people may be the cause, and some may have done more in certain things, but there's always a cause and effect. Do I think that she caused things to happen between her and Safari? No. Do I
Right.
think that she may have whatever once this thing started happening, added sauce and flavor? Sure, because that's normal. But
But I'm
yeah.
really surprised Scrappy didn't just cuss her out at the end.
Well,
He kind
he
of
basically was telling her, he was like, cuz.
Yeah, I don't like
he
that. I don't
followed
like that.
her. He was
I don't
like,
like
hold
that.
on.
He was telling you
I
like,
don't
look,
like that.
you lucky that you are my girl. I love you to some extent, because if it
He
was
said,
some
I'm a
other girl,
dog.
I would basically he would have gave her the Love and Hip Hop Atlanta treatment, which is like I said last week. The men on this show, they don't mind coming to the woman.
And
That's
cussing you
this ain't
clean
housewives.
out.
Housewives, you consider a bitch boy, right? But on Love Hip Hop Atlanta, all is fair game.
It's fair game.
It's fair game. So
Clean. Cussed out clean.
yeah, I agree. And that was pretty much all the episode. I mean, it was an okay episode. A lot of things happened. We got, Spice and well, next week we have a conversation between Spice, Shakana, and Meda. I guess they're gonna dive more into that. And what else happened next week? I didn't see. I forgot. I didn't watch.
Are they in Jamaica? Where are they? Where are the girls meeting at? Remember,
I think
no, they're in
so.
the
They wanna-
Caymans. They were
Yeah.
in the Caymans or something, right?
Okay,
Yeah, Meda showed
Meda
up.
did say she was.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, yes.
Mm-hmm.
I wish we would have had Shakana at the event, but she wasn't there. I wonder why she's not. Is she not friends with all the girls like that? I don't know what she stands with them like.
She wasn't in this episode at all, actually.
No, she wasn't. And she wasn't in the first two. Remember, she didn't come into she wasn't in the first one.
I think Spice
Well,
is
she
like
wouldn't
her
be at the
main
baby.
friend.
She wouldn't be at the gender reveal because her and Karlie don't like each other. So that made sense.
That's right. You're right.
That's exactly what it was.
Go to the episode, and she has.
And there's a lot of Karlie in this episode. A lot.
It was a lot of Karlie, but then it wasn't, because she had a scene with Rasheeda at the beginning, but the others, she was just there and crying and stuff. She really
that was hilarious.
It was a mix.
Hilarious.
A lot of Erica Banks, Erica Mena. It was a mix of everybody. So we'll see how next week's episode go. Overall, I think it was it was okay. It was pretty entertaining to an extent. I'm surprised that I am finding enjoyment in this, because I haven't watched this in a long time, but it keeps me afloat.
It's nice. I think it's funny that not one person has mentioned the Cynthia Bailey of this season. Where's Rennie Rucci at? Was she there?
I was actually gonna say
not one person mentioned her name today.
But I was gonna look. I promise you, I was gonna
say. What you mean, like on the show?
Rennie Rucci.
She was in this episode. She was in the episode.
Well, I don't think she was. She was trying to comfort Karlie. Remember?
Was she there? She's the Cynthia of the season. I'm calling it. I feel it.
Well, I don't know, because she gonna throw that milk on Erica, so we're gonna see.
And that's just like when she karate chopped Portia
and
got that leg up high. That's gonna be her Portia moment.
I was gonna say, because I know Tess said that he likes Rennie Rucci, but I was really happy she was there for Karlie read this episode.
I like her.
She was like the only person.
I like her music. I don't.
Her 2 seconds. Okay, yeah, that was cute.
Yeah, I like her music. So
this is true. Okay, right. And that's how I feel with Bangs. I like Bangs' music. I don't know about the show.
I don't really like her music.
You didn't like Bust It?
I mean,
you busted it to bust it.
I busted, but does that mean I like her?
I busted.
She's not a part of my female rapper playlist. Like
that's true.
It's all up and down through there. So
maybe I'll get into it. Let me get into Rennie Rucci. I'm gonna have to look into her.
Just look up Big Lotto.
Okay. No.
They look alike. They both look like Tamala Man, but that's just
they both say they're the biggest.
Yes.
That is true.
Okay. Well, listen, on that note, we're gonna go ahead and lean out. We thank you guys for watching. We thank Love Jones and Dream for being here today. Danny cannot be here, but he'll be back next week. Make sure you guys like and subscribe. Of course, if you're watching this, let us know in the comments like how you feel about how Spice felt as regards to Meda and their friendship. Like, is she a bit controlling? Or do you think it's just she has a valid way of feeling about Karlie and now Meda? Like, subscribe. Let us know in the comments how you feel about the episode as well. And we'll see you guys in episode 5. Okay. You have a good night and peace.
Bye.